Hello there and welcome back. This is going to be a pretty quick video since I only wanted to talk about Marvel Spider-Man 2 update and also a little update on a video I uploaded recently also about Marvel Spider-Man 2. So basically Insomniac confirmed a couple of hours ago on their Twitter account that the next update is coming on March 7th. So we're literally 1 month away from the update. As you can see in their post, they say that the update will arrive next month and will add highly requested features like New Game Plus, new suits, and more. I wanted to focus about what that more means, since I know they've probably had their hands full with the leak and such, but also this update just adding New Game Plus and some new suits, there has to be something else in there, right? Because I think they wanted to release New Game Plus with the game, or at least in December, if I'm not wrong. They wanted to release this update in late December, and they couldn't do it, right? So now we're gonna have the update in the third month of 2024. So hopefully they have more features in this update, and that's why it's taking a little longer. So with that, I want to circle back to my previous video about Spider-Man 2, where I talked about how I thought the symbiote storyline was rushed, especially compared with the rest of the game. So we have like Kraven's story, which is pretty extended throughout the gameplay time, and then the whole Web of Shadows symbiote invasion thing is literally the last couple of missions of the game. And also there's rumors of a Venom DLC or a Venom standalone game. So I think they could use either an update or a DLC to introduce that. So if they're working on any kind of DLC for the game, I think they will announce it after releasing this update, either in the same day when they release it or soon after. Going back to the gameplay aspect of the update, I think they should probably at least add the ability to switch our tendrils colors and the color of the webs, regardless of what suit we use, because we really have like 3 symbiote suits for Peter in the game, and it's the classic Insomniac black suit and the Surge suit as well. I consider that like part of one suit, I guess. Then we have the anti-Venom suit for the end of the story and the classic black suit. We also have Tobey Maguire's symbiote suit. However, the game doesn't treat it as a symbiote suit, so you get the white webs and you don't get the traversal symbiote abilities, you get the spider arms. So I think it would be cool for them to allow us to choose that regardless of the suit. Miles also has a couple of symbiote suits, so it would be nice for us to be able to change the color of the webs to black in that case. So realistically, I think they're gonna allow us to change the color of the webs and the color of the symbiote tendrils. However, I hope this update contains more features. For example, they could allow us to change the color of the web wings, since we already have suits with different colored web wings. The same goes for Peter's spider arms, since it would be cool to have the ability to change their colors, or at least let us choose between the variations already in game. Okay, so that was what I really think they're gonna give us in the update. However, I'm a bit of a dreamer and I still have hope they're gonna implement some kind of symbiote suit change in real time. So hear me out. In Web of Shadows, if you played that before or you watched it on YouTube or something, you can instantly go from Peter's red suit to the symbiote suit, and your abilities change. So if you're wearing the red suit, in that game you have like web-based powers and you don't hurt people, and the symbiote has like more damaging area of effect kind of abilities that also hurt civilians, right? So that was used for the karma system they had, like for you to be either a good guy or a bad guy. I don't think it would be hard to implement something like that in this game, since most of the mechanics are there. So when we go into search mode, Peter's suit changes instantly to the search suit. So we could use that animation and free roam to change from a normal suit to a symbiote suit. Also, they could implement a cooldown like 10 seconds to avoid us spamming the suit change and crashing the game, for example, if it's too resource heavy. So when we have the normal suit, we would have spider arm abilities, and when you have the symbiote suit, you would use the symbiote abilities. And it wouldn't be a problem because they could share the cooldown between the two sets of abilities. So for example, if you use your L1 square ability with the symbiote suit and then you switch to the normal suit, your spider arm ability to the L1 square combination is going to be on cooldown. So it's not going to be unfair, and they don't need to change the way the abilities and the cooldown works. So basically that would allow us to have a more realistic Spider-Man with the symbiote suit, since we can change the suit at will. Also we can use both Spider-Man abilities or symbiote abilities without having to go to the menu and changing them all the time. You could still use just the Spider-Man abilities or also use the symbiote abilities when you're using the normal suit, but I just want the option for us to switch like that. I think would add so much to the gameplay and especially to the replayability of the game after the main story, since you could go out there solving crimes and combining the symbiote and the spider arm abilities and also combining two suits, right? So that would be fun. They could also implement something similar for Miles, but not changing suits obviously, but for example changing electricity. So imagine you have a button to change suits for Peter and he switches to the symbiote suit. But in the case of Miles, he would get a surge of electricity changing from evolved Venom to his normal Venom. So you can also have 8 abilities with Miles that also share cooldowns between the two modes. Apart from the symbiote suit change, I also think they could give us alternate colors for the symbiotes. So you can have the anti-venom suit, we can have a white variant, which is the original, then a black one, and a red one to tease Carnage, for example. So that would also tie in the other update features, such as changing the color of the webs. So we could have a red symbiote, change the colors of the webs to red, and also the web wings to red wings. So I think that would be pretty cool and not too hard to implement because at the end of the day they're just recolors of the same assets they already have, right? So I think that could be an easy and pretty cool update that people would appreciate, and it doesn't take a lot of work as opposed to the suit change, obviously. And lastly, another feature they could implement and also would tie in nicely with the previous ones I mentioned would be the introduction of 4 web-based abilities. So we have Miles with his Venom and Evolved Venom, and then Peter has his Spider Arms and Symbiote abilities. So we either get an Electric Spider-Man, Symbiote Spider-Man, or Techie Spider-Man. But there's no like classic Spider-Man abilities, right? I think they could use like each button combination to give us a similar ability, but with web-based attacks. So we'd have like web yanking multiple enemies, slingshot into an enemy at a distance, and so on. So basically give us an alternative ability to the symbiote, spider arms, or electric powers. They could also have an ultimate ability like the symbiote surge or the mega venom blast. They could bring back the Web Blossom for the first game. So you have a finisher with Miles' electric powers, you have a surge mode that's very powerful with the symbiote, and then you have a web-based finisher. So I think that would tie in pretty nicely and also give more variety to the gameplay, especially after the last mission. So yeah, I don't think it would be a hard set of features to implement, but would benefit the gameplay aspect greatly. In the end, we'll have to wait and see, either until March 7th when the update comes out, or keep an eye on social media and see when Insomniac shares the complete list of features. Maybe we'll get more news then. So here's to hoping we get some of the features I mentioned and some news on a possible future DLC or a standalone game for Venom. And that's about it. I'll catch you in my next one. See ya.